Welcome back to the channel, everyone. If you love captivating stories about men transforming into women in unique and fascinating ways, then be sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Now, let's jump right into today's tale.
Ethan, no, Erin, sat curled up on the edge of Madeline's velvet couch, legs tucked under her like she'd been born knowing how to pose like that. Her new body moved differently, sat differently, even breathed differently. Every time she shifted, she felt the soft bounce of her breasts, the tug of her long platinum hair, the strange, empty vulnerability between her thighs. "This is ridiculous," she muttered, trying to stretch her legs out, only to instinctively curl them back under her again. It was as if her muscles had their own memory, one that didn't belong to her. She glanced down at her clothes, which were now Madeline's clothes, an emergency loan after her own had become comically ill-fitting. The soft cotton t-shirt, hugged curves she was still processing, and the sweatpants rolled at the waist, sat differently on her new hips. Everything felt wrong. And yet, her body seemed to know exactly how to arrange itself. Madeline, meanwhile, sipped her wine like she was hosting a casual book club instead of explaining a life-altering magical punishment. She looked impossibly composed, one leg crossed elegantly over the other, her expression a perfect blend of satisfaction and clinical interest. "So," Maddie began, swirling her glass, "let's talk terms." Erin blinked. "Terms? Did you think this was just a quick lesson? A 24-hour body swap for giggles?" Madeline's eyebrow arched perfectly. "This isn't just a you grow boobs and cry a little kind of punishment," she said. "This is about empathy, Ethan." Erin winced, the sound of her former name causing an almost physical reaction. "Please don't call me that." "Oh, you're right," Madeline said, her eyes sparkling with amusement. "Ethan doesn't fit anymore. Look at you. 5'4", tight little waist, hips that could stop traffic. You need something softer, sexier." She tapped her chin thoughtfully, eyes scanning Erin from head to toe, like she was a canvas needing just the right title. "With an eye? It suits you. Bouncy. Blonde. A little basic." "You've got to be kidding," Erin tried to deepen her voice, but it came out as a breathy protest that only made Madeline's smirk wider. "I'm not. You're Erin now. And if you ever want to be Ethan again, you're going to have to earn it." Erin crossed her arms under her chest, instantly regretting it as her new breasts pressed together in a way that made her shiver. The sensation was jarring, too sensitive, too present. "Okay, fine. What do I have to do? Cry in enough bathrooms? Fight off a few creeps? Learn to walk in heels? You think it's that simple?" Madeline laughed, but there was no humor in it. "You think a woman's experience can be boiled down to a few uncomfortable shoes and some unwanted attention? No, Erin backtracked, finding herself flustered in a way that felt foreign. Her words seemed to trip over themselves, her new voice rising with emotion. "I don't know what you want from me here." Madeline leaned forward, elbows resting on her knees, eyes deadly serious. The casual veneer dropped, revealing something harder, more determined. "No, sweetheart. You're going to be a woman. Live it. Breathe it. Date like one. Flirt like one. Get your heart broken like one. No. And yes, have sex like one." Erin stared. "You're joking." Madeline smiled. "I'm really not." That's insane," Erin stammered, running her fingers through her long hair, a nervous habit she'd never had before. "You can't expect me to date men." "Why not? You seem to think women should be falling over themselves to date you. What's the difference? Too intimate when the shoe's on the other foot." I'm not." Erin struggled to formulate a coherent argument. "I'm still me inside. I'm still attracted to women. Are you? Meline challenged, swirling her wine. Are you sure about that? The spell isn't just skin deep, Erin. It's comprehensive. Erin's eyes widened. I didn't do anything except give you authenticity. Meline replied smoothly. You can fight it if you want, but everything about you is aligned now. Your body, your hormones. She let the implication hang in the air. Erin suddenly felt dizzy. That's not fair. Fair? Medeline's laugh was sharp. Was it fair when you texted that girl while I was sleeping next to you? Was it fair when you told her what you wanted to do to her while wearing the watch I bought you for your birthday? That was different. No, Meline cut her off. It wasn't. And that's exactly what you're going to learn. She began listing, finger by finger. You'll go on at least 10 dates. With men. Real ones. Not just coffee and ghosting. You'll flirt, diggle, toss that gorgeous hair like you mean it. You'll wear the dresses, the heels, the lashes. You'll seduce. Erin's jaw dropped. You can't be serious. Then you'll pick one guy, and you'll date him for 6 months. Exclusively. You'll post cute little couple pics. Go on weekend getaways. And yes, all the intimate stuff women do for their boyfriends. You'll do that too. You want me to sleep with a guy? Erin squeaked, voice pitching up like a soprano. The thought sent a confusing mix of emotions through her. Horror, curiosity, and something else she couldn't quite place. Meline didn't flinch. Yes, I want you to feel the vulnerability, the trust, the risk. I want you to fall for someone and wonder if he's texting someone else while you're lying next to him. I want you to understand exactly what it's like to give someone your body, your heart, your everything, and fear that it's not enough. Erin was speechless. Her mouth opened, closed, opened again. That's insane. No, Meline said softly. That's justice. And what if I refuse? Erin challenged, trying to reclaim some semblance of control. What if I just don't play along? Meline shrugged, completely unruffled. Forever. Forever. It's quite simple, really. You wouldn't. I absolutely would. And frankly, the world might be better off with one less cheating man and one more woman who actually understands the damage men like you cause. Erin looked down at her hands, smaller now. Delicate, with long fingers and nails that practically begged for polish. She turned them over, examining the unfamiliar lines of her palms. And if I do all that, then, Meline said, sitting back, maybe I'll turn you back. If I believe you truly understand what you did to me, and every other woman you disrespected. Maybe. Erin's new voice rose in indignation. What do you mean, maybe? I need guarantees, Maddie. Guarantees, Meline repeated with a smirk. Funny, I thought I had a guarantee of fidelity too. How did that work out for me? Erin deflated, sinking into the couch. This is unbelievable. So was finding those texts, Meline countered. And what am I supposed to do in the meantime? Erin gestured wildly at herself. I can't go home like this. I can't go to work like this. I don't have clothes, ID, anything. Meline took another leisurely sip of her wine, letting Erin squirm for a moment before answering. Erin swallowed hard. And until then? Meline stood, walked to the kitchen, refilled her wine. The silence stretched between them, punctuated only by the soft clink of the bottle against the glass. Until then, we're roommates. What? You're not ready to be out in the world yet. You'd trip over your own heels and end up crying behind a Sephora in an hour. So, you'll stay here. With me. Erin blinked. You're letting me stay. Where else would you go? Your apartment with your male roommate, who would either hit on you or call the cops. Meline gave a small, elegant shrug. Besides, someone needs to teach you how to function. You can't even walk properly yet. I can walk, Erin protested, attempting to stand up to prove her point. Her new center of gravity immediately betrayed her, sending her stumbling forward before she caught herself on the coffee table. Meline simply raised an eyebrow. Fine, Erin muttered, carefully lowering herself back onto the couch. But this is weird. Us living together after everything. Meline gave her a look. Don't get it twisted. This isn't mercy. It's logistics. I'm not throwing you out with nothing. That would be cruel. And I'm not cruel, just creative. Besides, she took a long sip. This way I get to monitor your progress. Make sure you're really living it. Living it, Erin repeated flatly. Like I have a choice. You always have a choice, Meline said. That's the point. You choose to genuinely experience what I've laid out. Or you choose to stay as you are. Freedom of choice was never taken away from you. Unlike my freedom to make an informed decision about our relationship, which you stole when you decided to cheat. Erin shifted uncomfortably on the couch, brushing hair out of her face. Her long platinum locks caught the candlelight like silk, reflecting golden highlights that would have made her old self whistle appreciatively at a woman in a bar. So I'm just Erin now. Your sexy little blonde roommate. For now, Meline corrected. Until you've learned what you need to learn. And how long will that take? That depends entirely on you, doesn't it? How quickly you embrace the lesson. How sincerely you engage with the experience. Meline smirked. Exactly. Erin groaned. God. This is a nightmare. It's only day one. Meline replied with infuriating calm. Just wait until tomorrow when we go shopping. Shopping? Erin's head snapped up. For what? For what? Everything, Meline said with a wave of her hand. You're going to need a whole new wardrobe. Makeup. Skincare routine. The works. I don't have money for all that. No, but you have a credit card. Ethan's credit card. Medeline's smile was positively wicked. Consider it an investment in your future. This is extortion, Erin mumbled. No, Meline replied, rising from her seat with the grace of a cat stretching after a particularly satisfying nap. This is karma. And it's just getting started. She turned, already heading down the hall. No, darling. This is just the intro. And with that, she disappeared into her room, leaving Erin alone with her new body, her new name, and the terrifying realization that the only way out was through. Erin sat in the silent apartment, listening to the unfamiliar rhythm of her own breathing. Her chest rose and fell differently now, each breath carrying the subtle weight of her new breasts. Her hair fell forward, tickling her cheeks in a way she'd never experienced before. This can't be happening, she whispered to the empty room. But her soft feminine voice only confirmed that it very much was. She tried to stand again, more carefully this time, and managed to stay upright. Her balance was still off, her movements awkward and jerky. She took one tentative step, then another, making her way to the full-length mirror on Medeline's wall. The reflection that greeted her was still shocking. A beautiful stranger with her confused eyes. A body that could launch 1,000 ships and apparently sink one man's entire life. Erin was still sitting on the couch, trying to come to terms with the fact that she now had cleavage, a roommate instead of a girlfriend. A 6-month romantic sentence involving dudes and intimacy when she heard the unmistakable sound. Medeline's closet opening. Great, she muttered. What fresh hell now? She tried to stretch out her legs, but stopped abruptly when she felt the unfamiliar sensation of her thighs brushing against each other. Every movement was a reminder of her transformation, the way her chest shifted with each breath, how her hair fell across her shoulders, the strange absence between her legs that still made her want to cross her knees defensively. She glanced at her reflection in the darkened television screen, just enough to catch the silhouette of a woman where Ethan should have been. It was surreal, like watching someone else puppet her movements. Moments later, Meline returned with a folded pile of clothes in her arms and an amused glint in her eye. She moved with the confident sway of a woman who knew exactly how good she looked, a walk Erin had once admired from behind, and now would apparently need to master herself. "All right, roomie," she said, tossing the bundle onto the couch next to Erin. "Let's get you dressed. Can't have you sitting around in shredded jeans and a man-sized t-shirt. You look like a confused extra in a body swap movie." "Isn't that exactly what I am?" Erin shot back. "No," Meline replied smoothly. "You're the lead in a very personal redemption story. And leads need a proper wardrobe." Erin looked at the pile and blinked. "Is this lingerie?" She reached out hesitantly and lifted what appeared to be a scrap of lace masquerading as underwear. The fabric was so delicate it seemed to float between her fingers. Meline grinned. "Lacy. Tiny. Sexy. The only kind you'll be wearing from now on." "You can't be serious," Erin said, feeling heat rise to her cheeks. "There's nothing to these." "Welcome to the double standard," Meline replied. "Men want women who look effortlessly sexy, but have no idea the effort that goes into it." Erin picked up a pair of delicate, pale pink lace panties, holding them with 2 fingers, like they might bite. "There's barely enough fabric here to cover a thought." "Exactly," Meline said, plopping down beside her. "You have a new body, Erin. Time to learn how it feels to dress it the way men like to see it dressed." "Men like me," Erin muttered, realization dawning on her face. "Men exactly like you," Meline confirmed, with a satisfied smirk. "Remember that lingerie set you bought me for Valentine's Day? The one that was basically dental, floss with sequins." "That was different," Erin protested. "That was for your visual pleasure," Meline finished for her. "It certainly wasn't for comfort, considering I picked it out of my ass every 5 minutes." Erin groaned. "Can't I just—" "Nope. No. No granny panties. No boxer briefs. No sports bras unless you're actually doing sports. And even then, cute ones. These," she tapped the lace, "are your new normal. But they're so—" Erin searched for the word, exposed. "And yet still more coverage than you gave my feelings when you were sexting that influencer," Meline replied without missing a beat. Erin sighed and picked up the matching bra. It was the same pale pink, with delicate lace cups and underwire, that already made her wince imagining it against her skin. "Let me guess. Push up." "Of course. Gotta keep the girls happy." "They're not girls there." Erin glanced down at her chest. "I don't even know what they are." "Unwanted appendages." "They're your breasts," Meline said simply. "And they're quite nice ones if I do say so myself. I think I did good work there." "You sound like a plastic surgeon," Erin muttered. She hesitated. "And this is all I'm allowed to wear." Medeline's smile turned sly. "Well, you get one exception." Erin looked up, hopeful. A flash of the old Ethan confidence returned to her eyes. "Really?" Meline nodded solemnly. "When you're on your period." Erin froze. Her face went pale, the hope evaporating instantly. "Wait, what? You didn't think I'd forget that crucial element of womanhood, did you?" Meline asked, raising one perfectly shaped eyebrow. "You wouldn't," Erin whispered. "That's just cruel." Meline leaned back, sipping her wine with cruel satisfaction. Oh yes. Monthly visitor. Aunt Flo. Crimson Tide. You didn't think I'd skip that part, did you? That would be far too easy. Erin stared at her, horrified. You mean I'm going to bleed every month? 28 days, give or take, Meline confirmed. With all the cramps, bloating, and mood swings that come with it. And yes, during that special time, you may wear cotton underwear. Plain cotton. As a treat. This is torture, Erin said, dropping her head into her hands. Actual, medieval torture. Meline clinked her wine glass gently against Erin's untouched water. Welcome to womanhood, sweetheart. The membership dues are high, but the sisterhood is. She paused, considering. Well, the sisterhood is complicated too, actually. Erin slumped back, defeated. I hate this already. Good, Meline said brightly. Now, go change. I want to see how adorable you look in that little tank top and leggings. You're enjoying this way too much, Erin said, narrowing her eyes. Consider it compensation for the therapy I'd otherwise need after finding those texts, Meline replied. This is much more cost-effective. Grumbling, Erin stood, clutching the clothes to her chest. She padded awkwardly down the hall to the guest bathroom, her long hair brushing against her bare back, her hips swaying with every reluctant step. And don't forget to hook the bra correctly, Meline called after her. Back and swivel. Not that teenage boy fumbling you used to do when taking mine off. I know how bras work, Erin shouted back, her voice echoing off the bathroom tiles. Wearing one is different than removing one. Trust me, Meline replied, settling deeper into the couch with a satisfied smile. Inside the bathroom, Erin stared at her reflection. The woman in the mirror was undeniably beautiful, the kind of beautiful that had always made Ethan do a double take. Her platinum blonde hair cascaded over her shoulders, framing a face that belonged on a magazine cover. Her blue eyes were wide and fringed with thick lashes, her lips full and naturally pink. This is insane, she whispered, watching the stranger's lips move in sync with her words. She began to undress, awkwardly pulling off Medeline's sweatpants and t-shirt. Standing in nothing at all was even more jarring. The curves, the softness, the unfamiliar landscape of her new body made her feel dizzy. With fumbling fingers, she picked up the pale pink bra. After 3 attempts and several colorful curses, she managed to hook it behind her back. The cups fit perfectly, pushing her breasts up and together to create an unmistakable cleavage. Jesus, she breathed, turning sideways to see her new profile. These things are ridiculous. Next came the lace panties, which felt both foreign and uncomfortably revealing against her skin. The delicate fabric barely covered anything, and she shifted uncomfortably, trying to adjust to the sensation. The leggings were another challenge entirely. She hopped awkwardly, pulling them up over her new curves, marveling at how they clung to every inch of her body like a second skin. How do women wear these things? She muttered, turning to examine her backside. You can see everything. That's rather the point. Medeline's voice carried through the door. Hurry up in there, Cinderella. The transformation is already complete. 10 minutes later, she emerged. Meline looked up and actually applauded, her eyes widening with genuine appreciation. Oh, wow. You're even hotter than I expected. Erin was wearing a pair of high-waisted black leggings that hugged every curve like they were painted on, and a soft pink tank top that dipped low enough to show off a teasing amount of cleavage. The push-up bra did its job almost too well, and the lace panties underneath made her feel like a walking scandal. The leggings show everything, Erin complained, trying to pull the tank top down to cover more of her backside. Yes, and in your case, everything is spectacular, Meline observed clinically. I really outdid myself with that ass. Meline, she said flatly, I have never felt so naked while technically wearing clothes. That's because you've never had to dress for attention before, Meline said. Now you understand why we're always adjusting, pulling, and checking mirrors. Is this how you felt when I asked you to wear that red dress to my company party? Erin asked suddenly. The one with the thigh slit. Worse, Meline replied. Because that dress came with 5-inch heels that you insisted completed the look. Erin flopped onto the couch, tugging the tank top down in a losing battle. This thing shifts every time I breathe. Yep, Meline said. Now you're learning. Erin caught herself unconsciously, trying to adjust her new breasts within the confines of the bra. How do you deal with these things all day? They're like having 2 permanently attached water balloons. Years of practice, Meline said with a shrug. And a good sports bra when necessary. They sat in silence for a moment. Erin fidgeted with her straps. Meline sipped her wine. So, Erin ventured, running her fingers through her long hair and marveling at the silky texture, how long did it take you to plan this whole revenge spell thing? Revenge? Meline raised an eyebrow. Such a harsh word. I prefer educational experience. Meowtine. Turning your cheating boyfriend into a woman seems pretty vengeful to me. I gave it exactly as much thought as you gave to cheating on me. Meline replied evenly. The difference is, my actions have a purpose beyond selfish gratification. Which is to teach you what it's like to be on the receiving end of men like you. Erin winced. Ouch. Then, casually, Meline said, So, movie night. Erin blinked. What? You look like you could use some rom-com therapy. I was thinking Legally Blonde. Appropriate, don't you think? Are you serious right now? Erin asked, staring at her. You turn me into this. Tell me I need to date men. Warn me about periods. And now you want to watch a movie like we're having a slumber party. Why not? Meline shrugged. Consider it part of your cultural education. Elle Woods is a blonde who defies expectations and proves there's more to her than meets the eye. Might be inspirational for you. Erin groaned, flopping back into the cushions. You're enjoying this way too much. I've earned it, Meline replied, without a hint of remorse. Besides, you could learn something from Elle. She didn't let being underestimated stop her. I'm not Elle Woods, Erin protested. I'm not even really a woman. I'm just trapped in this body. Semantics, Meline waved her hand dismissively. The world will see you as a woman now, and that's what matters for your education. Oh, absolutely, Meline said, grabbing the remote. Now be a good girl and grab the popcorn from the kitchen, would you? Erin glared at her. I will smother you with this pillow. Then you'll be stuck as Erin forever, Meline countered sweetly. I'd reconsider that threat if I were you. Erin huffed but stood up, making her way to the kitchen. The leggings made a soft swishing sound as her thighs brushed together with each step. She was still unsteady on her feet, her new center of gravity throwing off her usual stride. Don't forget butter, Meline called after her. And while you're up, grab me another glass of wine. The good Cabernet, not the cooking wine. Anything else, Your Majesty? Erin called back sarcastically. A little gratitude wouldn't hurt, Meline replied. I could have turned you into something much worse. A toad, perhaps. Or a man with permanent erectile dysfunction. Erin returned moments later, balancing a bowl of popcorn and Medeline's wine. She moved carefully, still not trusting her new body not to betray her with a sudden stumble. Here, she said, setting everything down on the coffee table, happy. Meline just smiled sweetly. Make sure you wiggle those hips when you walk. You've got a lot to learn, Erin. And with that, the movie began. Somewhere between Elle Woods' Harvard application and Erin's second handful of popcorn, she realized something terrifying. This was her life, now. She glanced over at Meline, who was mouthing along to Elle's iconic "what?" like it's hard line. The woman who had once looked at her with love now watched her with the clinical interest of a scientist observing a particularly fascinating experiment. Erin shifted uncomfortably, feeling the lace underwear ride up in places she didn't even know could be uncomfortable. She tugged at her tank top again, trying to cover more skin without success. And it was only just beginning.